Hello everyone, and welcome back to Citrus and Mango. Now today I'm going to be sharing my recipe for a healthier banana bread. Now, who out there is just like me and would love to have dessert for breakfast? Well, with this recipe, you'll never have to choose again. This is my healthy blender, whole grain, free from added sugar, gluten-free banana bread. As always, the full recipe is on my website and I'll be linking that below. So without further ado, let's get started. So this recipe is actually a blender banana bread recipe. So technically you could throw all the ingredients in a blender, minus the mix-ins, and give it a blend and that's your mixture ready. However, the method that I'm showing you today in this video is really just a couple more steps, but I think it adds a ton of oomph to the banana bread and takes it to the next level. So our first step was to really take one of the bananas that we're going to use for the recipe and mash it up roughly with a fork. And this leaves some nice chunks of bananas for our banana bread that makes it super moist. Our second step is to take our rolled oats and make oat flour out of it. So that's really simple. Just put your oats into a blender, blend it up into a flour, and I find that aerates the flour a lot more. And then we'll add our flour to the mixing bowl that contains our one mashed banana. Now I love that this recipe is made from rolled oats. They're so nutritious, great, wholesome grains that contain a ton of fiber. And they really elevate this banana bread from a dessert to something that you could really consume as a breakfast. I mean, it contains all the ingredients that would go into your normal oatmeal. So why not? And if you use certified gluten-free oats, this recipe would be totally gluten-free as well. Anyway, back to the recipe. So what I'm doing here is really taking the rest of my wet ingredients, so the rest of my bananas and my eggs in a blending jar, and we're going to just blend this up into a smooth paste. Now once we have our paste that looks a lovely pale yellow like this, we're just going to take that and mix it in with the rest of our oat flour. And to this mixture, we're going to add our final few ingredients for this very basic recipe. And those are baking soda, baking powder, and some cinnamon. And the cinnamon doesn't really give a very cinnamony taste, if you know what I mean. It's more to add a warmth and another hint of sweetness, since we aren't really sweetening this apart from the bananas. Now, if you're a cinnamon lover, by all means, add more to this recipe. It would go absolutely great. So what we're going to do is really just mix all of the ingredients together, make sure there are no lumps, especially the oat flour, but not overmix, really just until you're able to combine without any lumps. And then it's really time to add our mix-ins. So here I'm adding some chopped walnuts and some chopped dark chocolate. You could really add any mix-ins of your choice. Any other type of nut or a different type of chocolate would go absolutely great here. This is the combination that I tend to like, and I've added in about 1/3 of a cup of each of those. Now if you're in the mood for more mix-ins, I think this recipe would be fine if you were to add up to 2/3 of a cup of each of the mix-ins. So once we're done with that, the batter is really ready, and so we're going to transfer it to our loaf tin. At this point, you could just bake this as is, but what I'm going to do is actually top it with an additional banana, because why not, as well as some chopped walnuts. And I think that really adds a lovely moisture and crunch to this dish. Once it's ready, we'll put our banana bread in an oven that's been preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for between 45 and 55 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out mostly clean. And with that, our banana bread is absolutely ready. Now my favorite way to eat this is to just heat it up in the microwave for a few seconds and top it with some nut butter and enjoy it with a gorgeous cup of coffee. Now if you like this video and you like my recipes, please do consider subscribing for more recipes. I tend to post every week. Please also consider sharing it with your friends and family. I also tend to post regularly on social media, and so the links for my blog and all my social media channels will be below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.